In his youth, our next inductee, enshrinee, if you prefer, might not have had the title of fastest man alive, but he would definitely have been in the conversation. Mike Goodrich could run. He is in the East St. Louis and Indiana University Halls of Fame because he could pick 'em up and lay 'em down. Mr. Goodrich was an Illinois state champion in the 880-yard relay for East St. Louis in 1966, as well as state champion in the 100-yard and 220-yard dashes in 67. At Indiana, he won 16 medals in Big Ten track championships, 8 of them gold. He was named an All-American 5 times. Mike was a recipient of the Billy Hayes Award and the L.G. Balfour Award in 1968, and named the fastest indoor freshman sprinter of the year by Track and Field magazine. I wish we could show you some video of him in action tonight, but we just couldn't find any, and it might have only been a blur anyway, so we don't mind so much. Now, please welcome into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, Mr. Mike Goodrich.
We'll try this one. We'll work it now. Thank you, Tom. Great to be back here. I want to tell you a story about Mike Goodrich before we get going. While we were getting our picture taken, Mike came and passed out these patches to all the inductees tonight. And that tells you what a classy guy he sure is. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Mike, I know you got a big crowd here from East St. Louis for you and from southwestern Illinois. Is there anybody you'd like to recognize or give a shout out to here to start with?
Yes. First of all, my family, would you please stand? My family. My wife, Deborah, for 50 years. Stand up, baby. 50 years. Also, I would like to recognize and really appreciate my friends. The Breakfast Club of St. Louis, Missouri. Would you please stand up at this time? The Panthers baseball team, would you stand up, please, at this time? I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I expect my family to be here, but for you guys to take your time and to come and spend this time with me, I really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I really do.
Thank all of you for coming. You know, East St. Louis is known as the city of champions, and Mike certainly was a champion. 3 state titles in high school, including the 100. It was the yard back then, not meters. 9.7 seconds to win that, 20.9 to win the 220. First guy in East St. Louis history for the Flyers to win 2 sprint the same year. What did that mean to you, Mike?
It meant a lot. I went to the state track meet as one of the favorites. And the year before, my junior year, I kind of froze up. So when I went up there for my senior year, the head coach said to me, he said, Mike, it's a shame that the 220-yard dash record is still on the book, which was up there for 31 years. But when I got in the race, I did not get in the race to break record. I got in there to win. Now, if the record came, that's icing on the cake. So when the 100 came, I won the 100-yard dash. The 220, I broke the oldest state record in the Illinois High School Association by running a 20.9. With that time, I was invited to the Golden West Invitational Meet in Sacramento, California. And those years and the people that I met on the way, I will always remember.
That's great. That 67 team, I think, got third in state. Maybe the 66 team did too, and the 67 team was very close to winning the state championship, which would have been the first in East St. Louis sports history.
That is correct. My junior year, we placed third. My senior year, we placed third. In fact, the last event was the mile relay, and we did not qualify a relay team in that event, and we was winning by 2 points. And Chicago or Harlem won the mile relay in a time of 3 minutes and 14 seconds, which lasted for at least 30 years.
Wow. Then on the St. Louis Armory, you had a memorable meet and a nice write-up, I understand, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And then on to the Golden West meet in Sacramento, and you met an interesting gentleman there, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I met my idol, Jesse Owens. When I was growing up in East St. Louis, and I really in the Samuel Gumper's project home, I was the fastest in the project. And I used to pretend that I was Jesse Owens. And my senior year at the state meet, one of my teammates said to me, "I just met Jesse Owens." And I looked at him. I said, "You kidding me?" I said, "Take me to Jesse Owens." He took me to Jesse Owens, who was sitting in the stand, and I made my way to where he was sitting. And I said, "Now, where is it?" He said, "He's the one with the white baseball cap." So I went over there, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, but are you Jesse Owens?" He looked up at me. He said, "Yes, I am." My eyes got that big. I shook his hand, and I didn't know that he was going to be the commentator for the next year, for the next day, for the final. And he was the commentator, and he interviewed all the winners, the state champ. And I won the 100. He interviewed me. I won the 200. He interviewed me. And from that moment on, he and I talked. It's like I'm talking to you. And I kind of consider him as Uncle Jesse. But the amazing thing about Jesse Owens, in 1935, and I may get some arguments here. I know Usain Bolt is the fastest human being on this earth up to this time. But I would argue with you that Jesse Owens was the greatest sprinter of all time. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's a man who set a world record in the 100-yard dash, the 220-yard dash, the long jump, and the 220 low hurdle. And he did it in 45 minutes. Full world record. But the strange thing about that is that the 100-yard dash record that he set in the Big Ten meet that particular day lasted for 34 years. And who would have thought that this young man from East St. Louis would be the one to break his Big Ten record? How about that? And like I say, I did not go I didn't start races thinking I'm gonna break this record or breaking that record. It was only victories. But you know, I participated in a lot of big meets. The Drake relays, the Illinois State track meet, Penn relays, Texas relays, the U.S. Olympic trial. But the one race that stands out to me, I ran in East St. Louis in Parson Field. And the reason why that was so important to me is set the stage for my confidence for the rest of my track career. The East St. Louis was one of the biggest Metro East track meets at that time. We had teams from St. Louis, Beaumont, Soldan, Bashan. All of those schools participated in there. There was one young man named Vernon Wellington from Beaumont. Vernon Wellington had run at 9.6 at the old relays. That was the fastest time any Missouri male boy had run. He beat me at the old relays. He ran 9.6. I was third. In Carbondale, I ran 9.6. So the East St. Louis relays was where he and I was getting ready to run again for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not, I dreamt about that race over and over and over again. Wellington was about 6'3", 180 pounds. I mean, he was a big guy, and he was powerful. In fact, he reminded me of Usain Bolt. The only way I could beat him was to beat him out the block. When the starter said, "Brother, take your mark," believe me or not, please believe me. Please believe this. If you ever watch a track meet, you know you got track competition, you got the pole vault going on, you got the high jump going on, you got the shot put going on, you got the long jump. When that starter said, "Runner, take your mark," everything stops. Pole vault, high jump, everything. It was so quiet, I can hear the bird chirping. When we got down in the starting stand, someone jumped. So we had to start over again. The second time I jumped, and I said to myself, there's no way I can beat him, because my advantage was to beat him out the blocks, because he just comes on at the end of the race. We get down for the second time. The third time, it's an official who tell us to get up. The reason why they told us to get up is because at the end of the track, everybody had come down on the track to see the 100, so they had to clear them out. The guy who went out for the fourth time, I had him for 5 yards. At the 70 yards, I could hear him breathing. When I hit the tape, I did beat him. We both had run 9.7 in the 100. That set the stage for being the following week to go to the Illinois Boys State Track Meet to win both the 100 and the 220. And I say to this day, that was the best meet I have ever run in, and that was in East St. Louis, Illinois.
Thank you, man. What a remarkable career you had in Indiana and came back to East St. Louis. A teacher, coach, volleyball official, done it all, Mike, and now you're the newest member of the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.